Granblue Radio! Good evening, stream. It is June 21st, 2016, Granblue Radio episode 12. 12 weeks. Still at it. It's like 3 months?
That's 3 months.
Good evening, Dom.
You left your echo on again.
I meant to do that.
I actually believe you.
Let's see. So yeah, it's June 21st. It's been like maybe, I don't know, like 2 weeks since they've attempted to add Defend Order, and it's coming along, I guess.
Yeah, we're on our third cycle basically of it.
What was it? So there's kind of a bit to talk about today. We recently had a blog post, which over half of it was Defend Order and reiterating things that are coming out. And also new characters, so on and so forth. New event like starting pretty much tomorrow night, right?
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a bloodbath.
I mean, everybody, there's no guild war this month, so pretty much everyone's saving their purple stuff for Celestials again.
Yeah, and it's like 10 days of Celestials, was it? Or is it 7?
It's, I believe it's 8? 23rd to the 30th? So, yeah, technically 8.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's pretty hard on the wrist, so everybody stream. Today's special segment will be on wrist exercises. You know, make sure you get your wrist working in proper order, get those stretches in there, otherwise you're going to end up with carpal tunnel playing this game.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, the way that I tried to avoid it for a while was swapping between phone and browser.
I guess that kind of works.
You can always keeps you moving.
Yeah, you could always you get like a touchscreen monitor too, right? I think that's the cool thing. But Granblue Radio. So let's just get right into it, I suppose.
Okay, so since last week, there have been 3 major things. Number 1 is that they reinstituted Defend Order. We'll talk about that probably in the middle of this. The easy thing to talk about is that they introduced their usual 3 cycle of characters. SSR, SR, and R. And the most important thing is that they did their monthly State of the Game blog, which I'm very glad that they're doing these days.
Yeah, it seems like they are doing it more and more now. It seems like since Haruta isn't able to talk to us on Twitter or whatever, he writes blogs instead. I guess that makes sense.
That way that they get approved by the company beforehand, they check wording, they make sure that they don't give away too much. It's a good way of doing it. Because Twitter is awful when it comes to actually making announcements.
I mean, 140 characters in Japanese is a lot, but, you know.
But it's so tied down to a certain point in time, and it just flies by, especially since, you know, if you're following Japanese Twitter, you'll just see billions of retweets of, like, cosplay girls, and there'll be, like, retweets of, just, like, latest Pixiv fan art. There's just gonna be so much noise.
Man, my TL does not look like yours at all.
Yeah, probably. No, you know what? You know what the worst thing is? That half of that like half-naked cosplayer retweeting comes from Ogawa.
I unfollowed him a while ago.
Anyway.
Yeah. Whew. Anyway, so let's talk about the characters. I guess we'll start from the top with the SSR.
Yeah, so the SSR Forte, there's a really interesting blog post they did about the redesign of her because she is a Rage of Bahamut transplant, and she is the second ROB transplant who is neither human nor unknown, as far as I can tell. Because the first one is UL. Everyone else is either unknown because they're like a god, a devil, or both, or they're human because they're out there.
Yeah.
And like 1 or 2 other people who I can't remember. Alicia and Monica are transplants. Anyway, but the point is that they went, all right, we're gonna add this character in because it's gonna be a good cross promotion. It's gonna be a good She's a really popular character over in Rage of Bahamut, and not only that, she is getting a figure, so this will probably give a nice little bump to sales of the figure. So they put her in, and they're like, well, she's technically a demon because of the horns, and they went, well, what if we gave her the draft treatment? And so
she's her design is very interesting in a couple of regards because of that. Because she's like most characters in Rage of Bahamut are demons, but technically are draft demons,
Well, they have horns, so they were just like good enough. It's kind of like how UL was actually supposed to be a kitsune.
Yeah.
And they went, well, there aren't necessarily kitsune in our world. No one has a tail, but we'll work it in somehow.
Maybe it's maybe it's the other way around. Like Draft and like all those races, Erun and Draft, they've existed since so long ago that like nobody thinks of them as a different thing, They're just part of that race. So I was like, that makes sense to me.
Maybe. Yeah. So where it went from there is that they were just like, all right, let's make her a draft then, which means we've got to make her shorter. She's 125 centimeters tall. And then they're like, all right, let's give her like twice the size of a previous bust.
I think a nice little detail is that her chest plate is broken.
Yeah.
It's got like a little bit of like a, I don't know, it couldn't contain the power, and like it's broken down the middle, kind of.
Yeah, the steel is breaking. It's straining. But they showed that to the original character designer of Forte, and he's just like, yeah, that works. I'll live with that. Like, make her shorter, make her go outward more. And then, so, the design of her in Granblue, though, is something that was very dangerous when people looked at it for the first time, but it was still, it's all about how the numbers pan out before anything actually is dangerous. I mean, remember when we said, it's like, Korwa, we just looked at it and went, we don't know what these do, and it depends on the numbers.
Yep.
So, yeah, go ahead.
From a design perspective, a lot of things are always based on the numbers. Like, this character, you could say something, this character gains attack, and then it could be either from 1 to 1,000, and the 1,000 is obviously much better than 1. So
yeah.
It's really hard to say. And her passive ability is probably the ability in question, where she just continuously gets stronger per turn that goes on.
Yep.
And then it's a passive, so it's speculated that it works even when she's in the back, and she comes out, she'll have the bonus.
Yeah, the way it's worded, it's based on turns passed in the fight as opposed to turns that she has acted.
Yeah.
So it's worded differently from what 6 has, for example, or Halasena.
Mm-hmm. Either way, though, it's not like it turns out not to be like a huge bonus, and I believe it's still normal modifier is what people said.
Yeah, it's capped at 50% is what I believe the current math works out to.
And since it's not its own modifier, it's not like super strong or anything. Apparently, I don't really know.
I mean, it's free.
It is free, and you don't have to work for it or anything. So, I mean, it's just a nice little bonus. A lot of passives you could do worse.
Yeah. Like defense up as a passive is one of those things that you actually just won't notice.
It exists, Yeah. It's one of those things.
Right. So, very interestingly, another of her abilities that might be broken on paper is her rage ability. So she's one of, so many characters who has rage, but that they've started really doing a lot of variations on it. Mm-hmm. And so hers starts at like 20%, I think it is, for 3 turns. So it's a standard like Rage 2 type effect. It's worse than Rage 3, worse than Rage 4. So it'll get overwritten by those. And then for turns 4 and 5, it ramps up to 50%, which is good. Problem is that in any of those first 3 turns, if anyone casts the Rage ability, including in raids, then it'll get overwritten, and you'll miss out on turns 4 and 5. So essentially, her ability will not have done anything.
Yeah, I think that it's what was it? I think that it's still something that Dark hadn't had before. Like, they don't have an SSR character that casts Rage, and I think that it's just because of that, it's like super strong in my opinion. Because
for solo, for sure.
Yeah, and not only that, but the uptime is on par with like all those other Rages. So
unless someone else casts Rage, in which case you just have 7 turns of downtime, and you just stare at it, going, well.
Well, in that regard though, what was it? Like, it also has that like additional effect, which is like all enemies attack down, which is I'm not really sure how good it is.
It's bad because it is for some reason on the mist modifier.
Oh, interesting.
So it'll say no effect if there's a miserable mist already on the target.
I've actually been thinking of like it's just kind of weird whether or not it's like a mist or not kind of thing.
Yeah,
like,
it's almost entirely arbitrary and based entirely on like balance decisions essentially.
Yeah.
So for people who play Dota, it's very similar to whether or not it can be stacked with another attack modifier. Like for a decade, those rules were entirely balance based and they had no internal consistency.
So yeah, that seems to be the case here as well. And as for her other abilities, like ability 1 is just like your standard nuke. It gets stronger if you use her Ogi, so it hits twice instead, so it becomes like a lot stronger. I think it's like 560k times 2. And then
yes, I believe so.
And then or maybe was it 6? It could be 620. I forgot, but it's one of those like SSR numbers. And then
let me check really quickly while you keep going.
Yeah, and then the other ability is like I guess it's what is it? It's Rampage, right? So critical up and double attack up. I mean, it's not gonna be the most amazing thing, but it works. But for the most part, on a Dark team, especially solo, then it kind of finishes the package of like attack up plus defense down with your other characters, and then you also have your main character bringing mist or whatever it is, and you pretty much got like the full like, wow, I could do like all the damage I need by myself now.
And importantly, by the way, she is a draft, which means that she is a playable character who benefits from Narmea's passive, and that was in horribly short supply.
Yeah, at this point, it's possible to use like a full draft team without, like you could use like her, like you use Forte and Narumea and like Vampy or something, and you don't have to use Cerberus anymore if you want that bonus.
Yeah, or you can still mix and match your supports, so you can use like Sword with a Bahamut Sword with Vera or with Lady Grey or something like that. And so, there's a lot more mixing and matching involved in Dark teams, it feels like now.
Mm-hmm.
You're not just stuck to, Baja Dagger 6 and 2 humans or something like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot about my favorite guy, Bazaraga. I think he's still.
No, I didn't forget him. It's just that he's already hit his cap. Like, the thing about the point in Bazaraga is that he doesn't need 5% attack up, because his nukes have already hit a cap a long time ago.
Yeah, I think, well, you could use him in HL, because you're less likely to hit a cap in HL after all.
I guess, but then the thing is that his caps are low anyway, so...
They are. I mean, you've got that's the thing about, like, nukes, is that they kind of, like, peak out pretty early in Magna difficulty, and then they kind of retain some of their value in HL again, which is interesting.
Yeah, mostly it's the double nukes, or like the ones that come with a strong effect, such as slow or dispel or something like that.
Yep. I think that's about it.
Yeah. Pretty much all that there is to say about Forte.
Whoops. Error. Send me back to the start. Yeah. Alright, next character. The new SR.
Almeida. So, they're continuing their trend of like experimenting with the edges of what Earth can get. By the way, I'm still really sad that like everything is Earth, and we still don't have a water character other than Morphe and Febe in the year of our Lord 2016. I'm going to talk about this like every week until we have one.
You already got a rare. You got your calculator potato.
I hate you.
Just saying. I think Light only got SRs
and Red Mage potato.
Yeah, that's it. Well,
we'll keep going.
She's another draft. I think the last few SRs, a number of them were drafts too, actually.
Yep. Basically, since then they've been drafts, as far as I remember.
This is considered an axe, I guess, even though it's a hammer and a scythe.
Yeah, because it's explicitly modeled after Vazaraga's. Have you seen her backstory?
No, not yet. I haven't pulled her or anything.
It's in the 4 panels as well. She has a respect crush on Vazaraga, where he like saved her once, and she's totally like idolizing him from afar.
Really?
Yeah.
That's kind of interesting.
So anyway, she's the whole construct for her is that she's like a mining engineer.
Yeah, she kind of gives me that vibe.
And so one of the things that one of her abilities, the one that is kind of like the signature of what they're trying to do with like Earth debuffing, is armor mining, which is it's her nuke. It's a 5-turn cooldown, which I believe goes down to 4 when she goes to plus, which is important because it is a stacking defense down debuff, which is also found on Gunslinger and is also found on Christmas Clarice, which, guess what? She's Earth as well. So, it's one of those things where they're experimenting with different ways to give Earth debuffs while making it still feel like Earth. And so, as with so many other things that involve Earth, this thing works the best when you just have a lot of time to punch away at it.
Yeah, it's kind of, as it looks right now, it's cool that you just have an additional stacking defense debuff. Oftentimes, maybe you won't have CAG, maybe, I guess.
And that's CAG's she caps out at like 15%, so you're still missing another 10% for the cap.
So with this, usually stackings are usually either 3 to 5%, but it does kind of help you bridge that gap of getting all the way to like the full defense down cap.
Yeah. She also has a buff, a team buff, which costs her 30 meter, and it's attack up plus chain burst up. Chain burst up is not really something that comes on that many characters. Like Silva has it, for example. It's one of those abilities that honestly gets lost very easily, just because you hit the cap, and then that cap is just a hard cap, and you just sit there. So, for example, that's why no one uses Grani, the water summon.
Yeah, it's it's something that's pretty cool when you're starting, I think, because you probably won't be able to hit the cap so easily. You do need to get like a pretty finished looking grid to actually start hitting the cap, and especially when you can't, especially if you're off color too, it gets harder and harder to do. Or fighting weakness even.
It's true. But it's one of those things where, if you're fighting against your weakness, you're probably not bringing her. You need to get more defensive, and Earth has no shortage of that. But anyway, I totally didn't notice that. They made like a Seiyu reference with her because she's Nikumi's voice from Soma.
She does have that same like golden bronzed color, I guess.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Let's see. Her chain burst buff is 30%, which is respectable. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just one of those things that maxes out pretty quickly.
Yeah. Also worth mentioning is her first ability is what was it, like debuff resistance down, which I'm not really sure nobody knows how good these abilities are because there's no quantifiable number to them, but it's cool to have.
Yeah. The problem is that Earth is still short on debuffers. So, like, it's her, it's Redluck, it's, you know, like, Catherine, whose debuffs are actually significant and important.
But yeah, then you're dipping into more and more colors. But it feels like Earth has more options than just human plus whatever now. Because, like, you could probably start dipping into, like, Erun Doraf type teams nowadays.
Yeah, which is nice.
Seems like more and more like elementals are getting more and more like kind of combinations with race, which apparently Water's still lacking behind. But
oh my god, she has different lines for when Bazaraga is in your party.
That's cute.
And she calls him Bazarabu.
I don't know how I feel about that as a Bazaraga fan myself.
You have a rival.
Yeah, I know, right?
And I feel like they're just gonna, because she appeals to that certain audience, there's gonna be some thin book representation, I feel.
We'll see. I haven't really seen a whole lot with her just yet, but
yeah, we'll see what happens. That's
Alrighty.
Once again, my timeline on Twitter is very different from your timeline on Twitter because I have Tone on mine, and as a brown girl with who is also a draft. He's very interested in that kind of archetype.
All right.
No, but anyway.
About that rare.
So that rare does exactly one incredibly unique thing.
I clicked on the wrong icon, but go on.
What she does is that she has a 1-turn debuff resistance, and it is it's a 1-turn veil.
Yeah, it's like a crappy version of Jasmine's or whatever.
Yeah. It's a crappy version of Jasmine. No, it's a little more like a crappy veil. It'll get rid of everything for that 1 turn.
Ooh.
With a 9-turn cooldown. So, I mean, it's nice, but if you're really that desperate for that effect, then you'll bring Catalina.
Yeah, you'll probably just bring an off-color character. I mean, it depends on what level you're at, though. I mean, what? Well, I can't find this character on the street, though. Like, I don't see her. She's got the giant scissors, right?
Yeah, she's on Earth. I keep thinking that she's wind because she has, like, leaves in her hair and she's cutting,
Is it the comb?
What?
It is the comb. Okay, yeah. I was like, what is her weapon? It's a comb.
Oh, her weapon is the comb.
Yeah. Anyways. That aside, it's kind of interesting.
It's one of those things where you can use her as an on-color Earth replacement for Story Catalina, but you might as well just bring Catalina.
I mean, there's SR characters that can do the same thing, but also better.
Yeah, it's true.
But I mean,
if you don't have Jasmine, if you don't have Lamretta,
or you need a double veil, I guess.
That is a strong need, given that like between Jasmine, Lamretta, and Arulumaya, you have 3 separate sources of debuff immunity and an Earth team available, and 2 of them are SR. So it's not like you're gonna have to just like keep fishing for them; they'll just sort of pop up.
Yeah, I guess is Earth like the most veil-less element actually?
It is now.
I mean, I think it always had 3 characters, now it has 4.
Well, I mean, let's be technical about this. Water also has 3 characters with Veil. The problem is that they're all the same character.
Yeah, they're all the same character.
Versions.
I don't think that counts.
Are you sure that doesn't? That counts to me.
You can't bring them on the same team.
Well, yeah.
Plus, just like I just mean in terms of flavor. Like, you know, is it an Earth ability?
I guess.
I guess that I don't know. Her design is pretty cute. I guess like they're doing a lot with rares these days, and I feel like a lot of the designs are really cute or interesting.
Yeah, I agree.
What was it though? I guess you'll have something for Arhel whenever they feel like expanding that. I feel like it should be expanded.
Really needed it. It's true. Might as well keep her in mind.
They need a R Guild War. That'd probably be fascinating.
I guess.
I'm sure. I mean, because I think the same people would dominate regardless. So.
AKA Wind? No, I'm kidding.
No, I just mean the players.
Yeah, I know.
So that about does it for today, like last week's new characters. Do you think we'll get any more this month? Probably not, huh? Since Swimsuit Fest is coming up pretty soon.
There's a small chance that they'll announce them tonight, but it's already past the normal time that they would have announced them at. So
yeah. Plus the gacha is set to reset on the 23rd. So
yeah. So after Celestials.
At best, I would think. Yeah. I wonder what kind of rate up they're gonna do though.
It's a really good question. I really don't know. Water characters up.
Oh man, I have full BB.
Rub salt right into that wound. All right. So that's pretty much it for the new characters. Once again, it's like they're trying interesting new spaces, and we'll see how many of these move over to the SSR space and get like the big boy pants.
Yeah, I do think that I think a lot of these characters are getting more and more interesting abilities, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And I do think that they should really expand their usage. I mean, they lost their usage recently with the golden points getting taken out.
Yep.
Yeah. So maybe soon.
I'm hoping.
All right, let's move on, shall we?
All right. So next up, it's probably Defend Order. And I played it earlier today. I spent some time sort of just jumping into the blitz units and things like that.
Yeah.
And it was all right. And then we ran out of time in our group. We would have.
I played it.
H. Yeah.
Let's see. I played it twice already. I missed the first one because it was at like 5 a.m. local time here. But my group has finished it every single time so far. And I think that we're starting to see like a disparity between overall group strength, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's not like Group H is weak. It's just that 2 out of the 3 times we haven't had enough people. Because this one was at like 9 a.m. Japan time, 5 p.m. Pacific time. Not that, Pacific time actually has a significant impact on my group. And yeah, we just didn't have enough people, period.
Yeah, the first one I played in, we finished with 20 seconds left, actually, because it was at 3 a.m. Japan time.
20 minutes?
20 seconds.
Okay, I was about to say.
There were 20 seconds left, we barely finished it, so, that sucked. I was like, because, I was watching the timer go down on the box, I was like, can we finish this? I don't know how likely it is. But,
yeah.
I guess we got either lucky or something along those lines. Something good happened. I don't know what.
The 2 guys with their Gaybulgs were just going at it.
But yeah, I think that overall, since the decision to divide it into 8 groups, for me, first of all, it's interesting that they chose 8 in particular. Because, for example, Star Halo is divided into 4. But looking at the numbers for how many people join each Defend Order, I guess it makes sense, considering that it's pretty much always at least 5,000 to 6,000, even at 3 a.m. with mine.
And then with mine, it's 2,000 to 3,000. So.
You mean at the very end?
No, yeah, at the very end.
Because some of the battles I noticed, the numbers don't go that high, but when you look at the actual finished count, it's much higher.
Yeah.
Because I guess some people die, so that's probably part of it. Let me pull up those numbers real quick, shall we? The JWiki has been kind of recording all the different Defend Orders as up till now.
Yeah.
And I could see why too. Apparently there is a correlation between the end time of a Defend Order and the start time of a new one. Which Haruta also kind of made an allusion to in his blog post.
As soon as it ends, they start the timer on the next one, basically.
Yep. So here we go. Here's our timer, and let's see. Which one did you? Group H?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys had 5,500 apparently.
For the most recent one?
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, I think that people start it, but they don't make it to the last battle. They either die or they're somewhere else.
That makes sense. I lost a character just to carelessness because I was just mashing.
Yeah, I could see that happening with a lot of people because it is kind of a long fight, and you don't know the boss's abilities when you first get in, so you might just get punched in the face for like 8,000.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened to me. I lost Lancelot immediately. I'm like, what the?
I think,
And also, there's no indicator for what element things are.
not until you fight them, yeah.
Sometimes you walk in and everything's earth and you're water, and you're just like, well...
I mean, you could always just not attack in that situation, I guess, but what's the fun in that?
Yeah.
I also think that, so for those who don't really know up until now, like Defend Order, it kind of plays out like you can, so you probably saw the stream, or you may not have, but how it works is once you join like the event, I guess, the mini event, you have to fight it out for, like you have a 30-minute battle on your hands kind of thing, right? And then battles pop up and you can join them. And basically the idea is you want to like beat all the battles as soon as you can so you can fight the boss that appears, I want to say 20 minutes in, or is it 15 minutes in?
Something like that.
Yeah, so the final boss appears roughly 15 to 20 minutes in, and if you haven't already like defeated most of the other enemies, like the area keepers, he's impossibly difficult.
Yeah, like each of them will give him like triple attack and defense and like all debuff resistance.
So what you want to do is you want to defeat all the little like, and also each individual like small battle like buffs some other area keeper battle as well. But I think for like the esports strategy, for like if you're like strong and you want to get as many points as you can, like, you just want to defeat. You want to join that fight with the boss as soon as you can, actually, and not even. You don't want to wait for the debuffs to go down. You just want to fight it like that. So it's actually pretty hard, but it's pretty doable, and I think that's the main strategy for a lot of really strong players right now.
It's pretty doable for people who have 2 MLB Chevalier swords.
I joined, like, I think my first Defend Order, I got 1,500 base shields. And that was with that's not with a DPS team or anything, that's with like a pretty defensive team.
Yeah, meanwhile, this was my first time getting any significant time in Defend Order, and I was joining the little ones, and I ended up with like 400 shields in the end.
Yeah, you gotta fight the boss for sure. And,
yeah.
I think that some of the bosses have surprisingly powerful abilities. Like when I got punched, like one of my characters got punched by like an Ogi, and it was like a 5-turn stun or something like that. It's ridiculously long. So yeah, the value of certain abilities like Clear, Veil, and so on and so forth is not to be understated at all. It's super long.
So what you're saying is that sages win?
I think sages are, because sages are, it's not a fair comparison because it's a tier 4 class for one.
Yeah.
If there was another tier 4 class with that level of utility, then they would be the best one. Even not even considering heal, because it's just that like Berserk is so like limited by comparison.
Yeah, I'm sure that as soon as Spartan comes out, then they'll go right there.
Yeah. One really interesting thing I noticed was that all those small battles against like the little guys, I think it seems like you shared debuffs with that one. But then when you fight the boss, it's the debuffs are all largely personal.
I believe you're allowed to get like ones from guildies or something like that. I don't remember fully. So I know that the small ones, since they're only 18 people, those ones can take the normal debuff rules.
There's actually something really interesting that I noticed, is that you do get, it's not that you get your team's debuffs, or your guildmates' debuffs, it's that you get their skills entirely, actually.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know how the game determines it, but I had one guildmate with me in a particular boss battle, and it was like near the end, every other turn, he would cast Debilitate for me. And I was like, this is physically impossible because Debilitate has a 7-turn cooldown. How is he doing this over and over again? Right?
Cheaters.
So it's some kind of, I don't know exactly how it chooses what to give you, but essentially you can get like multiple like stacks of some ability in a row depending on what your teammates' makeup is, apparently. I'm really not sure how it is. And you can also get buffs and debuffs and other skills from people not in your guild. I've gotten like a random rage or so. I've gotten healed as well. So there's something that has yet to be fully understood, and it's hard to test to so many people. And you only have so many guildmates in the same like group, so it's kind of it's hard to really determine it.
Ugh. Anyway, there's still a lot of tuning to be done on it. Like, there is still one boss that hasn't been defeated yet, I don't think.
Let me check real quick. I think I had that open.
I think it was the bird.
The
monster bird.
Is it in Port Freeze, right?
I think so.
Port Freeze. Yeah, actually, the giant bird has been defeated once by Team B.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, they had a full count though.
Oh, okay.
The other attempts were. There was another attempt with 8,000. That one failed. That was Group D. Which has succeeded the other two. So I guess that may mean that was the hardest one.
Guess so.
Up until now, at least. The one I did, the one with golems, is not too bad. The golems are all different elements, which is kind of annoying. And they have buffs too, so like Dispel is pretty useful there randomly. But overall, the golem one was pretty easy. From what I saw in the stream, the B one looks really easy too. So I guess the bird one is probably the hardest one.
I guess so. I don't know, the B one, I wasn't fully able to play it because it was at 5:30 my time, so a big part of my playtime was eaten up by driving.
Yeah,
so.
Same here actually. My last one for E was in the middle of my commute, and it was my fault for not going to work early that day, apparently.
My fault for leaving work at a normal time, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Curses.
Yeah. Which actually kind of segues into our next topic, which would be the June update, where they address a lot of the problems with Defend Order.
Yeah, actually, I mean, it's been kind of rocky to begin with. I mean, it's a Defend Order, I feel like, is a cool idea, but there's a lot to take in with actual implementation with it, because I think that they hadn't really, from a design perspective, they had accounted for maybe normal-ish human behavior, but not necessarily gamer behavior. Because like they put out like this thing that's limited, and then obviously everyone's gonna go for it. So that's why like the first implementation was a bust. Even though like there's only like 90 minutes to have found out about it, obviously. People were like, oh crap, there's a Defend Order, and then crash the server pretty much. But then now that they divided it up, that thing has kind of remained where it's like it's still like a limited thing, so everyone wants to do it, you know? And then so
because I mean it's free and it gives rewards, so like why not do it?
Yeah, and I mean it's fun too. I mean that aside, I mean because you get to like play like a fight that's not necessarily found anywhere else. So that's really interesting.
Yeah. It certainly hasn't had time to get old yet because it's like 20 minutes every 3 days essentially.
Yeah, it's basically it's so little that you have no time to really get bored of it. So,
yeah, I'm still not sure what I'm doing in that thing.
I have my strategy kind of worked out, but either way.
Yeah, it hurts me a lot that I play like a weak element. Like not that the element itself is a weak element. I mean that like I play an element that has weaknesses.
Yeah,
unlike,
I think
people who play light and dark.
I think the smart thing to do in those situations is actually like don't. Like, if you once you find out what the element of the boss is, you should kind of, like, dodge it. You should dodge, like, the one you can't fight, and just focus on the Zakos.
Yeah.
And I also think that, I mean, like, the final boss of the Golem one was all elements, actually. Like,
it was? Okay.
Per life bar, he switched element, so... Which was, like, he has, like, 5 or 6 life bars, something like that,
so you're telling me that it's even more incentive to be light or dark?
Yeah, you could play Win. That's also pretty good.
Oh boy. Yeah, like the thing is that we were talking about. Oh yeah, it's a long, dragged out fight. Maybe this is gonna be Earth's turn to play. Nope, same 3 as usual.
I mean, Earth does have its turn to play, which is maximum damage dealt in 1 turn, which is a thing, by the way.
Oh, that's an achievement, and for like, for some sort of Defend Order trophy or something?
No, actually. So it's not necessarily a trophy, but basically per fight, right? instead of like the normal like top 3 that you see at the bottom of the scoreboard, it's yourself, the leader for total damage, and the third one is actually not like the second place person. It's actually most damage dealt in one turn.
Which is always going to be like the Eustace Nemone team.
Yeah, or some other kind of earth, like, you know, like 6 Ogies or something.
Oh yeah, no, actually, 6 Ogies does not do as much damage as Eustace does.
Well, I mean, you could do like 4 Ogies and Eustace or something.
Sure. Alright.
You do
so
have
Octo, Eustace, Nemone is what you're telling me.
Exactly, and then you could do like a bazillion damage.
Yeah, so Berserker, Octo, Eustace, Nemone, potentially in that order, and then you just go nuts.
But yeah, nobody takes that away from Earth pretty much, as far as I could tell. Like usually.
Boy.
Like I think that what was it? Because you probably get something out of doing the most damage per one turn, but also I'm not actually sure if it's only like when you attack too. It could also be abilities as well. So for that particular turn, so technically a nuke team could also have like could put in some work there as well, but I'm not really sure yet.
Well, on the Nemone turn, she presses a button and does another 1.5 million.
Yeah.
So
I just don't know yet. I'm assuming that it'll still be Earth, but.
So I'm just saying, like, just off of the top of my head, the full go crazy Earth turn is 3.5 million from Eustace, 3.7 million from Nemone, 2.3 million from Octo, and if you're a Samurai MC, then it's another 2.3 million, and then the regular chain burst, add an Kaguya bonus. It's like 10 million-ish?
Yeah, I've never seen anyone do that much damage yet. I've only seen like, I think 7 million is like the most I've ever seen. But it's definitely, it could be something to aim for. I don't know what it is though, because I don't think anyone.
So whoever's fully dedicated themselves to the hustle and somehow has Nemone survive to turn 11.
I mean, it's not impossible because you could just power up on the Zakos for sure.
Oh, it's true. It's just one of those things that's hilarious. Like that's how I keep Cocutus Maniac amusing to myself, is that I just build up some meter on Nemone and then have her charge until it's time to hit the boss, and then I 100 to 0 Cocutus Maniac.
Yeah, it must be fun.
It is really fun.
But yeah, I'm sure that there's probably other kind of like break assassin teams, though some bosses don't have break gauges. I'm sure that it'll probably eventually boil down to where people know what all the different bosses are, and then they kind of aim for a specific thing on that particular boss fight, you know?
Yeah, that's true. We'll see where they go with that, though. I mean, there's still a lot of adjusting to do on Defend Order, and we've still only done 3 cycles of it, so there's still a lot of data to be collected on their end.
Yeah, and there's also they did say that they're looking at how difficult some of the battles are, how difficult it is for it to win at a certain time period as well, and then also looking at the frequency as well too. But I feel like the frequency is probably balanced with the rewards at this point. The number of shields you can amass in a week is probably even like high level player like me would only get maybe 3,000 to 5,000 is pretty generous. 5,000 being extremely generous.
And that's if you can make every single one of them and do the full half-hour commitment.
So I only got 1,000 my second time because I only got 500 base. Because you get 500 for winning too. Because I was I was driving, so I couldn't really do anything. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it shakes out, how they decide to go with the balance. As it is right now, I feel like they just recently released a schedule for your defend order for next week, pretty much.
Yeah.
Which they hadn't done up until pretty much today.
Yeah, the defend order for the next couple days, essentially, A through H.
Oh, huh. There's another announcement recently.
Was there?
Oh, so if you yeah, it's not that important, but basically for the Guild War last month, didn't get the rewards for your leftover crap, basically, then you're gonna get something today-ish. But yeah, this is pretty much new. We saw this like today, pretty much, where they're like, by the way, here's your defend orders for everybody.
Yeah. The next, basically A through H for the 22nd through the 24th.
Mm-hmm.
It's great for me because my next defend order is at 5 a.m.
Mine
exactly 12 hours after the previous defend order for my group.
Oh, mine is... When was mine relative to now? It was yesterday, right? So then... Yeah, it's been a while for mine. It's not like a... I don't know how the time frame works at all, but basically mine's tomorrow at 10 p.m. So maybe I will be here. I will like be streaming something else, stop what I'm doing, and be like, hi, I gotta do my defend order real quick.
Must be nice. No, but yeah, I mean, there's still the jury's still kind of out on defend order. Although, you know, if you believe in Twitter, then the jury is coming after it with torches and pitchforks.
I think it's working okay. I think it's a fun idea, and it just needs some like adjustment and like maybe a little hand holding for the babies, and like some giveaways, and we'll be in there.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of improvement to be made, and they're working on it. That's one of the things that they're actively working on.
Mm-hmm. I mean, at least they're listening, is what I could say. I mean, there's developers that say that's not what you want, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll see some changes there. As for upcoming stuff that was also detailed in the blog, there are 2 new story chapters that came out yesterday, pretty much. I haven't played them yet personally.
They introduced a new primal beast. That primal beast is pretty silly looking because it's a starfish made of red and green string.
Okay.
So it kind of looks like... Well, you know, the thing is that its concept is like the bonds between people. So, you know, it has that concept of like the red string of fate, but it really looks silly.
I haven't seen it myself yet. Let me find a picture.
But they also introduced the Gold Knight, like officially.
Yes, they did.
And she's fluffy-eared, and so therefore I want her. You know, I'm not gonna lie about that one to anybody.
It's gonna be like how many? Like another year and a half or so before she might join you.
Yeah, especially since she's pretty clearly a villain. So.
Yeah, maybe not a lot at this point.
No, but anyway, the story's moving forward. It's getting to a point where I am, like, more people are getting involved, and I'm getting more interest in the story. But you know, it's 2 chapters every month, so I'll just wait for it and try and One Piece it all. You know?
Yeah, it's kind of hard. It is a little bit hard to stay like super. I guess, like, you know, it's kind of hard to stay totally invested because you forget sometimes. It's like, what's going on?
Yeah, you forget a lot, actually. Like, who is this again?
Yeah.
Oh.
So that's kind of one of the downers about it. But the Gold Knight, let's see. Let's just look and find a picture real quick. Let me see that Gold Knight.
Let's see. I can send you a picture from my my journal too, my Lyria journal. Field notes.
What chapter was she from?
62, 63. No, past that, like 64, 65-ish.
Oh yeah, I see her. Yeah, I found her. So let me. She looks very noble. I feel like a lot of the Eruns have a lot of nobility to them, though.
I mean, the joke is that the only thing keeping Hellas's clothes up is nobility.
She must be suffocating in that thing, though. Right? Because they need to have their backs exposed.
Well, her back is exposed in the armor.
She's got a cape, though.
Well, I guess so.
Yeah, she must be burning hot.
So you subscribe to like the steam vents theory?
It's a pretty good one. I mean, if you're covered in fur, things get really hot, you know.
That's fair enough. Let's see. But yeah, anyway, it is what it is. It's 100 crystals and some more voice acting. That's pretty interesting. But you know, there were nowhere near any kind of like meaningful story beat. Like, it's all exposition at the moment.
They gotta introduce the players.
Exactly. So here's the interesting thing to you, actually, and to a lot of people who are fans of the story, is that working for her, you essentially have the opposite version of Sturm and Drang, who work for her and are like actually ruthless, as opposed to being like just following orders, happy-go-lucky people.
Yeah, it's like two non-bombs, which is, I guess it's kind of like a juxtaposition. You can't have every character be, you know, Sturm and Drang.
Yeah, exactly. But they are in direct opposition to Sturm and Drang, and so that makes it kind of interesting to people who are fans of that dynamic.
I think that, what was it? Like, I think Pokemon did that first, right? Where you have Team Rocket and then there's a new team.
That's true. What was the name of that, like, the eco-terrorist group in Black and White again? Forget now.
I don't know. But I'm talking about the ones that appeared in anime. There was like another Team Rocket. There's another duo. I forgot who they were though.
Plasma, I think. Yeah, Team Plasma was like your rivals in Black and White. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, the PETA, but the first part is Pokemon.
Right.
What was it though? So yeah, and as for anything else, apparently they teased there would be like, in July there's a new way to play the game. And we've already got browser, smartphone. What else is there?
I was joking. It's like I for one welcome the addition of HD on the like PlayStation Vita.
I was actually thinking the same thing, like either handheld game consoles, or like actual consoles. That's the only thing I can really think of.
Console thing would just be so unnecessary. It's like, this is actually just JPEGs and pings arranged in a semi-attractive fashion.
I was thinking exactly the same thing, but it's kind of cool if they could do it, because I mean, a console, like it's more like a computer, and it can probably do more with downloaded stuff. So I guess like having a computer is not like the biggest thing in Japan, so I think they're trying to like kind of tap into it a little bit. But
I guess
the comedy answer is of course like virtual reality, Granblue.
VR? Oh no.
Yeah, VR Granblue.
Oh, no.
I don't know. I've died many times with Granblue. I don't know if I want to die. Like, I don't want to have to die.
I don't know if I want to experience that.
Guys, get behind me! I'll cover you. They're in hyperdimension.
I do not want to get hit by hyperdimension in VR. No, thank you.
So that's
or
what was
supernova,
teased.
like just go blind from all the blinding light, just going straight into your eyeballs.
Yeah. But also teased in August, which was a big update. Or maybe like not necessarily update, but a big something. It's so stupid. So it's literally written as a big and then like a blank, pretty much. So like big scale blank. So I don't know.
Typical Japanese promotion, basically.
But apparently the Famitsu coming up will cover it. So that's something. So we probably won't have to wait actually that long to find out about it. I don't necessarily foresee myself buying another Bookwalker Famitsu, but it depends. And last but not least, I mean, the CDs came out like today, I think?
Yeah, essentially today. And so, James, I challenge you, because the Soya CD, which we know for a fact that both of us will be getting.
You might have overstepped your bounds a little bit there, but go on.
It comes with a man ticket. It is a ticket guaranteed to give you a male character. And so, next week, I challenge you to the man ticket money match for radio.
I don't know if I'll have a CD by then, even if I went out and bought it right now.
Oh, my copy's arriving on Thursday and I ordered it yesterday, so I will make another order. I will do this for the sake of this show.
Let me Google this real quick. Stream, help me, I'm getting bullied into buying the CD.
You know you want it anyway.
I'm actually kind of whatever about it.
Because the skin gives you the Soya song as your homepage too.
It does do that, but you have to have Eugen on your team.
Yeah,
actually, maybe
you have to have Eugen on a team. There's a difference.
We might have to like. Well, then again, like what was it? Where is it? Did you buy it on American Amazon?
No, I bought it on Japanese Amazon. I was making an order from manga anyway, so I just did it.
I see. Yeah, I saw it earlier on American Amazon for like $40 or so.
That's ridiculous.
It's kind of expensive, yeah. But I don't know. I have to look at shipping too.
Yeah, I understand. I understand that you're dodging me.
I mean, I don't really want it that much. That's how it is. All right, let's see. I guess like it's $15 in Japan, so it just depends on shipping, I guess.
Yeah.
It's
so anyway.
Oh, it's actually back ordered.
Is it already?
Yeah, it's back ordered.
Oh my god, this is too good.
Yeah, it's well. Let's see. Yeah, I'll see if like I will actually look at and see if I can buy it at a reasonable price. But as it is right now, it is currently back ordered in Japan from Amazon at least. So it could be it may be buyable from a different seller, which probably is, but I don't know if it'll ship overseas is the problem.
Yeah, I understand that. Like one of the previous CDs I got off of like the Aniplex site and had shipped to a friend. All right, well, the challenge is open.
You might have to hold that manliness in for a little while. I don't know if you can take it.
Oh, I'll take it. I'll hold all of this in for you. I'll save it.
Are you missing any R male characters?
I currently am only missing Grandma and Scissors Arun.
Oh, so you're gonna get a book then, huh? I mean,
there's a likelihood that I will get a book.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm missing anybody. I'm probably missing. I think I'm missing Protractor Potato. I don't have him. Yeah, I don't have him yet, so I'll get somebody.
All right, man, ticket. We're doing this.
All right.
Maybe, potentially. The challenge is open.
I mean, if I can get it within a reasonable amount of time, before you lose control of it and like roll it. I guess it'd be smart. Actually, wait. Is that a time-stamped ticket? So like you would only get a book. You can't like wait for another character to come out.
I don't know actually. I don't think it's time-stamped. I think it's just man only.
All right then. I guess we'll see. On that note, the other CD came out. I don't know if anyone really cares about that one. Just kidding.
Yeah, it got less attention than the Soya song.
I mean, it's hard to top. And it's just like, the note is that it's not backward currently.
I mean, the skin that you get from it is basically Eliza with a microphone and like the heart-shaped cleavage cut into her dress. That's pretty much it.
You also get SR Eliza if you don't have her.
That's true. I will have an SR Eliza once that CD arrives.
Oh, so you are buying it.
I bought both.
Alright, fair enough. I actually bought the Idol one, because I'm going to be doing a giveaway at AX, probably.
Nice.
I'm going to do like a guerrilla meetup for Anime Expo. Those of you going to Anime Expo, for like, you have some free time, you can meet up and we'll all roll, and whoever gets like the, I don't know, either the best or the worst outcome will get the CD.
I figure it'll be the person with the worst outcome, just like, oh, we're really sorry you rolled Carmelina here. Have an idol skin.
We'll see. Because like, it depends on how many people actually show up. So if like 3 people show up, then like it's pretty easy, right? If there's like 50 people, it might have to go to the best, because that's the only way there'll be a best. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Maybe I should bring some kind of consolation prize. Like, we're sorry that you rolled Carmelina. Here, have like a rubber strap of like Ogre Jita or something.
But yeah, we'll see. It's currently planned for I'm currently planning Sunday of AX is the plan.
Okay.
I have some obligations at like for throughout the day and at 9 p.m. as well. So roughly about 7 p.m. on Sunday. I'll be dressed as a superstar, most likely.
Will you? Or which superstar? Are you dressed as
the regular one?
Male or female, though?
I'll just pretend.
I've seen you at Evo. I know what this means.
I'll just pretend I will not. Actually, it's kind of tough. Like I put on some nondescript items, and they're not good for a person who has 3 days of leg day. Is what I discovered. So I'll just leave it at that.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not bell bottoms, is what you're saying.
We'll see. What else was there? I think that's about it for today.
That's pretty much it.
There's one more thing.
Except for the showdown roll.
That's right. Actually, there's 2 more things then. So let's roll. So right now it's summon roll. It's summon up. Summon rate up, which is by far the worst, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So it's
there's
the battle.
Just so much crap at R and SR.
It's the battle to not get a summon.
I'm just letting you know that if I actually do end up getting my long-lusted after dark bunkle, I'm just gonna throw down my headset and take a lap around the house.
Alright, that'll be the end of the stream then. Let's put the music on. As soon as it loads, we need to turn on Wi-Fi. While I'm waiting for this to load, I would also like to plug the other thing that we had mentioned earlier, but not really, which is there's no Guild War this month, right? And because there's no Guild War this month, I thought it'd be like kind of fun and silly if instead of fighting in Granblue, we all fought in Overwatch, since a lot of us are playing it.
Yeah, we're actually trying to get our team together. It turns out that a lot of Trap House plays supports and tanks.
Whoops. But we'll be doing a tournament. Like the rules are not completely solidified because first of all, like there's like a million different options in Overwatch, and I'm like currently like compiling like a nice rule set that will let us play relatively casually and for funsies. But you know, nothing at stake except for your pride and glory of your guild, and so you know, there you have it. So yeah, do sign up. XIE.MOE. You'll find a link at the front page. And there is a sign-up sheet, like a really like a normal one, just like what's your guild, and what are the names of people on your guild. You can have up to 12 people in your team, but obviously you can only field 6 at a time. But basically that leaves room for alts or whatever if you need them. If like somebody has to go to the bathroom for like 6 years, then you could switch in a person. That's fine. But the main rule is that they all have to be. You have to actually be in the same Granblue guild. You can't like have ringers or anything like that. Alrighty, so that's it. So do sign up if you're interested. I mean, it's just for funsies. If we get like 2 teams, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Alrighty, here we go. Rolling.
Oh no. Blue crystal.
You got the blue? Alright, I haven't gotten anything yet. I'm getting you need to buy more mobile coins.
I got the blue bandage fist.
Bandage fist? Is that a character weapon?
No, it's just called title wraps.
Alright, still got a chance then. I just gotta get a character weapon and this victory is mine. Here we go. It is a... What color is that? It's all bright. Oh, it's yellow! Here we go. Come on, Pixie. I got a water dragon.
Well, still better than what I got.
Wow.
Title wraps.
We did it, stream. Water dragon wins this roll. How rare is that?
Not very.
Alright, stream. On that note, we're gonna call it a day. Those of you tuned in, thank you for tuning in as always. We'll be back next week. Week 13. And it'll be like halfway through Celestials. Defend Order may or may not be functioning, and actually the new Famitsu, is it the next Famitsu they teased, or the one after that, actually?
I think it's the next one.
So Famitsu does come out at a reasonable time frame, so it could have like the cool thing from it. So maybe I will pay like the $3 and like have the scans ready for you guys.
Yeah. But
it says this week's Famitsu, so we will have it.
Yeah. I'm just letting you know though, that I will hold my man ticket. I will hold it until you have one as well, so that we can fight on even and very manly terms.
Okay, that sounds fair. We'll be working on that stream as well. Alright, stream, thanks for tuning in. We didn't really have much in the mailbox today, but next week's topic will be... Who is the manliest character in Granblue?
And why is it Sora's?
And why is it so? I think you misread the script there.
Oh, sorry. Why is it so?
But yeah, let us know. Stream. We'll be waiting for your responses. That's xiei.moe/mailbox. Do hit us up. We're waiting for your responses. Anything else you'd like to add for today?
That's it.
Alrighty.
Actually, did you look at the track list for the San Bagarasu song, by the way?
No, I didn't.
There are 2 different instrumental versions. One of them keeps in all of the Soyas.
I guess that makes sense.
I really appreciate some of the extra little touches they put into this game. It just makes me happy.
Alrighty. On that note, stream, we're gonna call it. Have a good week.
Alright, have a good night.